Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it and you could purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a lovely pre-coaxial Omega Speedmaster Date 40mm in stainless steel. This is an automatic winding chronometer chronograph that wears well on my small wrist of 16 centimeters. I would recommend this watch given its lug-to-lug span of 45.6 millimeters for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. Now it does have a slightly broader span when you include the end links. It displays out to 50.4, but because of the shape of the case and the rather stubby end link profiles, I'm going to go out on a limb and say if your wrist is 13.5 centimeters, you're going to be able to wear this watch. 15.2 millimeters thick, it is not a thin watch, and I'm going to say that this one's probably best reserved for jacket cuffs rather than dress sleeves, just because there is a dramatic cantilever of the tachymeter bezel. It does project over the case, so it could provide a hang-up for a sleeve, but with persistence it shouldn't be too much of a problem and it won't challenge a jacket. The space between the lugs, 19 millimeters, and the bracelet is substantial. Let's get a little bit closer and see the details. This is a handsome bracelet with a lozenge profile for the cross section of the links. Satin for the most part with polished intermediates. You will note that as we're going back quite a few years here to the pre-coaxial era, these are pin sleeve bracelets rather than screws, so you'll need a punch and a block to size, but they do stay secure and they are very robust. There's a clasp milled out from the solid, effectively identical to what you would have found on the Bond SMP Diver 300 meters of the time, with the exception of the dive extension. This has two alternate mounting points, so you can change the anchoring of the bracelet, but it doesn't have a fold-out extension. The milled swing arms and milled from solid clasp, however, are almost identical, right down to the twin trigger release that keeps this resolutely closed. Also, take this moment to note how deep and crisp the engraving is on the clasp, so you can see this watch has not been excessively refinished, if at all. Jumping back to the case, it's a standard Seamaster or Speedmaster case with a satin finish on the flank, a lyre style lug, which means the inward faces turn in dramatically and the outward faces turn out dramatically, with a polished and expanding bevel to contrast with the satin of the flank. Simple pump style pushers, and you can see that they are in line with the crown. This is not a modular chronograph as many of these mid-size automatic Speedmasters are. This is an integrated chronograph movement. Polished crown, polished pushers, a little bit of a shear guard profile like you'll find on the Speedmaster Professional, but this is a very different kind of watch. Whereas the Speedy Pro has a flat tack, this one has a dramatically conical angled tack, and the watch does feature a sapphire crystal. No Hesalite here. The sapphire covering a dial with double finish. As you can see, the center has a distinctive metallic grain that catches the light differently from the hour track. It's a high-grade dial with applique indices and a frame around the trapezoidal date. You will note that it is both a chronometer and an automatic chronograph. Applique Omega logo, value 7750 base. You probably already picked that up based on the pattern of the chronograph minutes, constant seconds, and chronograph hours. Now the watch features what Omega calls a caliber 1164, which is basically a chronometer certified high-grade 25 joule value 7750 automatic winding unidirectional for efficiency, unidirectional more efficient than bidirectional. It has a 44-hour power reserve. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. You have both hacking or stop seconds and a quick set date function to allow you to cycle the date. You can set the watch to a reference time with hacking and to a calendar using the quick set. It is a cam lateral clutch chronograph, but a crisp one that's been well tuned with a satisfying cam feel and sound. Take a listen. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, and unlike the Moonwatch, which is a 50-meter water-resistant timepiece, this one is a true swimmable sports chronograph with a 100-meter water resistance rating, thanks to that screw-in caseback with the iconic image of the hippocampus in relieved and polished metal on top of a frosted media-blasted base. It's a good-looking caseback, but it's a better-looking dial with a handsome black-silver contrast. It's a timeless design that will look fresh 50 years hence. You can see it today and make it yours on the Watchbox. And we're back with the Speedmaster Date Automatic Chronometer Chronograph. Plenty of lume by night. Note that the chronograph hand has been lumed as well.